In a few days, we've got Saturday's fight night, UFC Fight Night 254 at the Apex. So let's move on to that straight away and get off the low notes and get off the sobbing. Vettori and Dolidze are fighting again. This is their second fight. Just a reminder that last time these guys met in the cage, Vettori came out victorious with a decision win. So is this going to be the revenge of Dolidze, or is Vettori going to be 2-0 against Dolidze? I'm going to be predicting the 6 fights on the main card. First fight on the main card of UFC's 254 Fight Night pay-per-view at the Apex is Song Woo Choi versus Kevin Vallejos. Kevin Vallejos coming out of Argentina and Choi coming out of South Korea. There is a huge age gap between the two fighters, 10-year age gap. Choi is not that old. He's 32 years old. So it's just obviously Vallejos, his opponent is very young. I'm going to choose the spring chicken. I'm going to choose Vallejos by second or third round TKO. I'm feeling a late finish from Vallejos in this one. For the next fight, this card is actually moved around a little bit because there was a fight between AJ Cumming and Yu Soo-young that appears to be cancelled, and now replacing the fight is Dyer Nogze, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, versus Brendanson Ribeiro. Dyer, who has 0 defeats for now, and Ribeiro, who has 7 defeats with 16 victories. I'm going to go for Ribeiro. I'm going to go for Ribeiro by third or second round TKO or submission, bearing in mind that his opponent is undefeated. I think he's going to lose the 0 on Saturday night. So I'm going for Ribeiro, guys. Next, our third fight on the main card, Damon Blackshear versus Cody Gibson. I think this fight is going to stay on the feet because these guys are both great on the ground, and they have a tendency to finish their opponents by submission. So a lot of these fights, when we see two guys that are really good on the ground, we see them not really wanting to go to the ground because they'll neutralize each other out. So I think this will stay on the feet, and I think Cody Gibson will get the win here by decision. Next up, we have Alexander Hernandez versus Kurt Holobo. Holobo being the veteran between the two of them, who is 38 years old. Alexander Hernandez being 32 years old. I think in this fight, it could go either way, but I'm going to go with Kurt Holobo by a late submission in the second or third round of this fight. And for the co-main event, Chidi Njokuani versus Zaleski dos Santos. Njokuani has a huge reach advantage in this fight. But despite that, I'm going to go for Santos via decision or late TKO in the second or third round. I don't think Njokuani will beat Santos on this evening. Even though Santos is 38, Njokuani is 36, there's not a huge age gap, but when you reach a certain age, that you can be a bit rusty, you can have a bit of ring rust. But I'm going to go for Dos Santos on this one with a late TKO in the second or third round or a decision. Next up, we have Marvin Vettori, of course, for our main event against Roman Dolidze on, as I said, their second bout together, coming off a victory for Vettori against Dolidze. Dolidze with 14 wins and 3 losses, compared to Vettori's 19 wins and 7 losses and 1 no contest. This time around, I'm going to go for Dolidze. I think he's going to come with a vengeance. Since they last met, Dolidze has been on a tear. If you guys remember, we saw him last time against Anthony Smith, the Lionheart, and he won against Anthony Smith. Notably, he was not in his natural weight class. He had to go up a weight class to fight Anthony Smith. So he fought in the light heavyweight division, whereas normally he's in the middleweight division. So props to Dolidze for fighting in a higher weight class and winning. So he got the decision win over Anthony Smith. Props to him for that. It's not an easy feat to move up and win your fight. So I think in this fight, Dolidze has what it takes to beat Vettori. This fight is over 5 rounds instead of 3, so you've already got a bit more time for both guys to get their game plan rolling. And I think Vettori won't have what it takes to beat Dolidze. Dolidze is just a solid guy who has very much improved since I last met. Vettori's on the rise right now. He's a very effective, efficient fighter, but there's still holes in his game, and I think Dolidze will be able to capitalize on those little holes in his fight game. So I'm going to go with Dolidze, as I said, by decision or late TKO in the 3rd or 4th round, TKO, or a decision from Dolidze. So that were my quick fire predictions for UFC 254's Fight Night pay-per-view main card. Don't forget to check out this fight card. As I said, don't sleep on the Apex and don't sleep on the prelims either. There are some exciting matches in the prelims. But in the meantime, thank you very much for listening. Comment down below, what are your thoughts for Saturday's UFC Fight Night card at the Apex? Are my predictions in line with yours? Like, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you next week for a new episode of the MMA Girl Podcast. Thank you very much for watching.